Alright, guys. We good now? Alright, what's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with a little late night live stream for you guys. I'm not going to be too long. I don't know how long my internet would be able to hold out. But, figured I'd come on for about, I'm going to say probably 10 minutes or so. We're going to talk a little bit of hockey. I know. You guys are like, wow. Anyone who's watching this, like, you know, like the 13th, which is today, like probably within like the next, later today, you guys be checking my channel when you wake up. You're like, oh my God, Crazy Dog talked hockey? It's like, yeah, I do talk a little bit of hockey. If I had to give my ratio when it comes to, how much I talk about each sport, and you already know, my channel's probably like 90% football, both college and pro. About, actually no, I'm gonna lower that a little bit more. I'm gonna say about 70, no, a little bit more than 75. I'm gonna say about 80% football. I'm gonna say 10% basketball, so I put it at 90%. And then, yeah, 10% basketball, so NBA, college, all that good stuff. And then 5% hockey, and then 5% other. Pretty much. Columbus will improve somewhat next year. Yeah, I don't see us doing all. I mean, we're a young team. We're a very young team. I'll go through the entire, depth chart, see what we got cooking. Yarmo has something cooking, though. I mean, he's building a nice, good, young core. He's not going to sell out for free agents. He doesn't do that. We've signed 2 free agents the last 2 years in free agency. We just do not spend money in terms of free agents. Now, we do make moves via trade, though. It's not like, Yarmo doesn't do anything. He usually makes moves via trade. That's where he does his work. That's what I've noticed about all my team's general managers. They like to make moves via trade. They don't usually, sign a lot of guys. I'm just ready for football. Yeah, I like the sweaters for the Blue Jackets, and of course the cannon. But anyways, let's look at this team a little bit here. I'm gonna do this. There we go. So first off, let's take a look at what we got. Whoops. Don't click on the ad. There we go. Click on the ad and I freaking start lagging. Of course. Click on the ad and I start lagging. Can't even make it up. Here we go. Now it's going to start lagging now. So now I got to wait for it to cool down and recover. Okay, we're set. All right. So we look at this team, and let's do this. Ready? Booyah! Hey, yeah. So let's make myself a little bit bigger. There we go. I may look a little lopsided. Oh well. But you see what we got cooking. Protected cap space about $16 million. Most of that will go to Line A. Yep. Because we're going to keep Line A. We're not going to let him go. He actually wants to be here, believe it or not. He wants to be in Columbus. Something that Panarin, he's like, I want out. Panarin's like, I hate this place. I'm out of here. Line A wants to stick around. I mean, Jack Roslovic, who's a Columbus native, essentially got him hooked on Columbus. And you'd love to see it. Now, in terms of what we got as a team, let me get rid of this ad here. There we go. Okay. Is that an ad I can get rid of? No, it's not. Okay. It's just a usual website ad. So you look at the roster. This is the roster that we have. Forwards, very good, solid group of forwards. Voracek, Nyquist, and now this is also an order of AAV and stuff. Like, this is just cap hit straight up. And you look over at the AAV side, and then you got total salary here. I guess, is it just not going to upload? Update? Alright, bet. But yeah, I mean, overall. Now, in terms of what our depth chart would look like, let's take a look at that now. So we move over to depth charts. By the way, first couple games, I think home opener for the Blue Jackets this year is against the freaking Lightning. Of course they would put us against the Lightning to start our season. Oh, another lag spike. Of course. It's because of the bandwidth. It'll cool down. There we go. So you look at our lovely stuff right here. Let me make sure I'm still good. Oh, let me move myself. Hang on. I gotta move myself. I guess I don't really have to move myself. I'll just put myself down there in the corner. There we go. Okay. So we look at our lovely, depth chart. Line, Voracek, Roslovic. It's actually a really good, solid, first three. Nyquist, Jenner, Bjorkstrand. That's not too bad. Robinson, Sillinger, and Tex. Pretty good. A lot of talent there. I love Sillinger. And then you have the last line, the fourth line, center and wing combo. Kent Johnson, who's a rookie. He played 9 games last year. Got 3 assists. It's not too bad for your first, couple games. Sean Corrali, who was our lone free agent signing last year. 77 games, 14 goals, and 16 assists. I didn't realize he had 14 goals. Damn. Still cool, though. Not bad. And then Yegor Chinnikov, who had a little ill puck luck early on, but he was starting to find the net. 62 games, 7 goals, 7 assists. Good start for the Russian. I remember when we drafted him, people were like, who the heck is Yegor Chinnikov? And I'll admit, I'm guilty. I was one of those guys like, who is this dude? But then I started seeing some videos of him in Russia, and I was like, okay. Yep, that dude is something. He's got an insane shot. And then you look on the defense, and this is where I think we make our moves. This is where I think we address. That's the group we address in free agency via trade or whatever. Whether it's free agency or trade. By the way, if we trade for anybody, I would love a Jakob Chychrun. I say that because I actually heard during the draft, or before the draft, on draft day, the Blue Jackets actually were talking to the Coyotes about Jakob Chychrun, but nothing materialized. Now, knowing Yarmo, he might have it, kind of put it aside. Because he wanted to wait and see what happened with the draft, and now with free agency here, I could see him maybe try to go after a defenseman or two to solidify the position. Because there ain't no way we're going to have Andrew Peeke as our first-line defenseman. No. Andrew Peeke is good, but he's not a first-line centerman, at least in my eyes. Like I said, he's all right, but you putting him with Werenski, I don't know about that. I mean, you watch this team last year, and you notice one thing. Offense was great. No surprise. Offense was great. They were scoring goals like crazy. I think I saw somewhere where we had a franchise record or something for most goals scored in a season. We were scoring at a good rate. But the problem was we were giving up as many goals as we were scoring. I can't tell you guys how many leads I saw us blow last year. We would be up freaking 3-1, 4-0. By the end of the game, we'd be hanging on by a thread, either up 4-3, tied 4-4, losing 5-4. And I'm not going to blame Elvis. I'm not going to blame Jonas. Yeah, they were a part of it. But, the defense just could not get the puck out of our zone. I mean, these opposing teams, especially the really good teams, they were just practically living in our zone half the time. You can't have that. But you look at our, defense. You have Wierenski and Peak. That's probably not going to stick around. I could see us going after a top defenseman, like right shot defenseman. Vlad Gavrikov, 80 games, only 5 goals. Okay, and then you have Blankenberg, who we signed very late in the season. Same time that we brought in Kent Johnson. And then you have Bean and Bookvist, who we actually acquired, remember, last year on draft day in the Seth Jones trade. We got Bookvist for Seth Jones, as well as I think a pick or whatever. And then we immediately flipped one of those picks to Carolina for Jake Bean. So like I said, they go with Yarmo, making moves. He's that kind of guy. He doesn't usually use free agency to make his deals. He makes his noise via trade. Look what he did a couple years ago when we went all in. The dude was like rattling trades off left and right. I remember I think we had just beaten the Boston Bruins. And we had made, I think that was when we made the Duchesne trade. I'm pretty sure. Like, this dude is he's a lunatic when it comes to trades. And also, interesting story. A couple years ago during the deadline, I remember watching, I think I was in Hot Take Hockey's live stream. And I'm not looking at the chat right now, so if you're talking, I can't see it. Because if I go back to it, I'll go back to it here in a minute. But you see, like, that whole thing. I'm not going to talk about our prospects or anything, because that's really, like, irrelevant at this point. But I'm going to look at the chat, too. Yeah, I do hockey, Jacob. Just not a lot. I don't do a whole lot of hockey. I'll talk hockey every once in a while. Might even do a stream every once in a while, too. Mainly, like, when, when the Cavs or the Browns aren't playing. It's mainly when the Cavs aren't playing. Because they very rarely play at the same time as the Browns. Unless the Browns are playing at a night game. The Blue Jackets don't usually play noon games unless it's like on a Sunday. But, I might do a Blue Jackets stream every once in a while. Like, if we make a trade, I'll stream talking about the deal. If we sign somebody, I'll do a video. I don't usually do Blue Jackets game streams because it's such a fast-paced game. I don't know. Not really built for hockey streaming like that. I tried it a couple years ago. I actually streamed us sweeping the Lightning. That was fun. Didn't have a scoreboard or anything for the most part. I think I used ESPN, but overall, I could probably do it if I really, really want. If I'm really bored and there's nothing else to do, I'd probably crank out a Blue Jackets game stream. But I don't really do Blue Jackets stuff like that. But now let's get into some of these two articles that I found talking about some potential free agent targets for the Guardians. I swear to God, I rehearsed my thing and I swear I said Guardians like 5 times. Because sometimes I'll think about like what I'm gonna talk about, and I swear in my head I'm thinking Guardians. It's like, no, I'm talking Blue Jackets. So the first article that I'm gonna look at as soon as I stop lagging. Yeah, this is why I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this thing. As soon as it stops lagging, I will continue with my stuff. If it stops lagging. Any minute now, it'll stop lagging. There we go. Okay. So it stopped lagging, so yeah. First article we're going to look at today is this one. Realistic free agent targets in 2022. Now, this is from the hockey writers who make the articles. Not trying to plagiarize or take credit for what they post. I'm merely here critiquing it. And I give it my thoughts. As, of course, we're having another lag spike. Oh, lag. I thought we have evolved past the the lag part, but okay, I think we're good now. So we're gonna go through these. Hockey writers have us going after a goalie, which is not happening. We simply do not need a goaltender because we have three of them. All right, so we're just gonna zoom through these. Josh Manson. Manson wouldn't be a bad get. I can already tell this is gonna be a bad idea because so many pictures and stuff have to load up. Yeah, this is gonna be a bad idea. I can already tell you. But yeah, Josh Manson. We're not gonna go after a winger. Nico Sturm. Centerman. Nah. Although they did list some other targets like Adam Gaudette, Victor Rask, Sam Steele, Derek Stepan, Dylan Strome. Strome would actually be a good get. I wouldn't mind Dylan Strome. I don't even know if you guys can even hear me talking about this stuff. But yeah, I wouldn't mind Strome at all. Not at all. But of these guys that were listed, if you guys didn't hear me because it was lagging, gotta love, OBS and my internet just teaming up to troll me, pretty much. Tag teaming me, But yeah, Nico Sturm. We're not gonna go after a center that bad. We need defense. Wingers, I don't think we're going to go after a winger. They mentioned Nick Cousins, Dominik Kubalik, Daniel Sprong, and Vetrano. I guess out of those guys, Kubalik sounds like a pretty interesting option. But like Vetrano, I wouldn't completely be against. It depends on the money. That's the biggest thing. Money. How much are they asking for? Because we don't have the money to break. We need money to give to Laine. So we're kind of handcuffed there. But in terms of defense, this is where I think we're gonna go after Ben Sherratt, okay, old friend Michael Del Zotto, Eric Goodbranson, Brent Kulak, Colin Miller, Jan Ruda, and Nikita Zadorov. I actually saw a tweet earlier today talking about Zadorov being on the market. And I think I saw from Hot Take Hockey, he wants like $4 million. I'm like, okay. Yarmo, take note. Do not give him $4 million. Try to swindle him for maybe 2.5 or less. And if he doesn't want to do that, we'll say bye-bye. Because you're not coming here paying $4 million, I guess. Because we need all the money for Laine, man. That's why I think ultimately, we're going to try and make a trade for a D-man. But it's really hard to say what we're going to do at this point. Now, Manson I think would be a good get. But I just don't know. He might be too expensive. And then, like I said, no goalie. We're not going after a goalie. What lunatic thinks we're going to need a goalie at this point, when we've already signed 3 of them? We have 3 goalies already. We don't need another one. Unless we were trying to trade Corpy, which we're not trading him right now. So, nope. We have Tarasov too. So, yeah, I don't see goalie on the menu this year. Maybe in a couple years, yeah. Next year if we don't bring in somebody to replace Corpy. But, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. Although, by next year, I'm sure Tarasov would be our number 2 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But now we move on to the final article of the night. And this one is from SB Nation. And this one is just strictly about defensemen. Defensemen for CBJ fans to watch in free agency. And the first name on the docket is John Klingberg. I actually heard a lot of rumors about him in the Blue Jackets, I guess, and during the trade deadline. People saying, could the Blue Jackets go after Klingberg? Never materialized. I don't know if it'll materialize. I just don't know if he's a fit for us. And you read a little bit about it, younger and on the younger end as free agents go. By far the most effective offensively. Cool. He'll be the most expensive. So we're not going to go after a guy like that. That's expensive. Because of Line. And then the next one is Ben Sherratt. So again, just like in the Hockey Writers article, they mentioned Ben Sherratt. Highest scoring UFAD available. 31-year-old defenseman was dealt at the deadline to the Panthers. Okay, cool. His advanced stats are less than ideal. If you're into that stuff, I could imagine Yarmo and them are. They're going to probably look at him and go, no, pass. Which is something that we like to do a lot of. Passing. If you watch this team during power plays, I swear they were just trying to put on a passing clinic half the time. That's why a lot of people didn't like who we hired as a coach, because he used to be the power play coordinator. It was so annoying watching them pass the puck like a billion times during the 2-minute power play. And then they'd take like two shots, and they wouldn't even be good shots. They would just be lobbing the puck at the goalie. It's like, dude, the puck isn't going to go through him. He's not a hologram. This isn't like early days of freaking, EA Sports hockey, where sometimes it'll glitch and the puck will go right through him. Come on now, get real. Nick Leddy would be an interesting one. You see reading him there. Best days are behind him. I'd be very hesitant to sign him for multiple years. I think that's a common theme with these guys. They're all like in the 30s. There's not really a young stud, like a middle-aged guy like 26, 27 really. Josh Manson, again. We've already talked about him a couple times. I actually wouldn't completely hate bringing him over, but yeah. I think he'll be too expensive. But hey, you never know. Calvin DeHaan. These guys over at SB Nation believe he could be the main target for the Blue Jackets, which, I mean, wouldn't completely hate it. Wrong side of 30. Best defenseman available in terms of WAR percentage. I mean, if he could work next to Werenski, I wouldn't hate it at all. Because Werenski needs a good number 2, man. He needs a good guy to go with him. I mean, I love Seth Jones. And, the Seth Jones-Werenski pairing was elite. But the dude just did not want to be here, pretty much. And we're like, okay, bye-bye. That's essentially how it went. And now he's got an insane extension and all that. And now look at that. The Blackhawks are falling apart. You absolutely hate to see that. You hate to see that. I was literally looking at Twitter the past couple of days, and every few notifications I got from like Elliot Friedman or those guys are, Blackhawks are getting rid of this guy. Blackhawks are not, bringing back this guy. The Blackhawks are not giving a qualifying offer to this guy. They're looking to trade this dude and that dude and this dude, and they're going to get rid of this guy. It's like, are they going to have anybody left? I mean, Patrick Kane's pretty much over there like, hey, yo, where'd everybody go? Like that freaking meme that you see from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where I can't remember the character's name, but he's sitting in the empty room. Like, hey, yo, where'd everybody go? He's like, nobody's there. Poor guy. He's probably going to be dealt next for all we know. I mean, sheesh. Rough times to be a Blackhawks fan, I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. Now, next up, he mentioned Nikita Zadorov again. We already talked about him before. Ilya Lyubushkin. Yes, sir. From the Maple Leafs. Justin Braun from the Rangers. I believe he meant Rangers. Okay, I mean, that's not horrible. PK Subban. No. Straight up, I don't want Subban. Other names that they mentioned on this article. Anton Strawman would be interesting. Zdeno Chara. He's an older one, but I'm sure he could get the job done. Danny DeKeyser. That's a name I haven't really heard much of. Oli Mata, Eric Goodbranson again, Mark Pysak, who's also a winger apparently, Brent Kulak, Mark Stahl, Andy Green, Ian Cole, old friend, played for us for a year or so, Justin Schultz, and Jack Johnson, who we all know very well. Imagine we brought back Jack Johnson. That would be where you'd say, well, 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 look what the cat dragged in. Hello, Jack. And Jack walks in with a freaking big old, like, Stanley Cup ring. That's the thing, though. If we were to sign Jack, that means when we go to Colorado... No, we wouldn't even go to Colorado. Because we play them in Finland this year. So if we signed him, would he be getting his ring in Finland? That's interesting. I hope we don't do that. I hope we don't sign him. Whoever signs him, have fun. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys with that. I've been streaming for about, 27 minutes? I didn't think I was streaming that long. Sheesh. Oh, well, I guess that's what happens when your thing lags. And you gotta wait for it to settle down. So essentially half hour. That's not bad. But yeah, if you guys want to go check out these articles, you find them on Bleacher Report. Gotta love it. That's where I find a lot of the articles that I look at. Bleacher Report be coming in clutch like that. Now, am I going to do the same thing for... Oh, yeah? Okay. Cat always has something to say. But, am I going to do something for the trade deadline? Yes. I'll be live for the MLB trade deadline for a couple hours. And then when it comes to, anything else? I mean, I'll have my Browns training camp preview videos. Those are going to be fun. Going to tell you who's on, who's safe, who's on the bubble, and who better ball out or they're gone. That's going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing that again. And other than that, not really much else to say. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If the Blue Jackets do sign somebody, which I'm not saying they're not going to. It's just that I'll be shocked if they do. Let me just say that. I would be insanely shocked if they went out and actually signed somebody. I'd be more surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded for somebody like Chikrin, who's a defenseman. I think that's what we'd do. That's how we're going to address this team, via trade. I just don't think we're going to spend money on a guy, unless it's for like a good like a decently cheap contract. And if we do that, it'd probably be for like someone who's like way over 30, who's like on the last legs of his career, and he's essentially just looking for a quick payday. But we'll see what Yarmo has in store for us. Probably nothing. If you're expecting us to go crazy, like sign like 4 or 5 guys within the first hour, you're going to be disappointed. That's what I've learned. It's like, don't expect anything from Yarmo. He likes to be quiet. He works in silence. And then when you don't expect it, boom, he strikes with a big old signing. I'm literally waiting to see tomorrow, Blue Jackets are close to, acquiring Jacob Chikrin or something. Or, signing Klingberg or someone, I think, what was it, Connor Murphy? Columbus native, I think. So imagine that. I saw that in Hot Take Hockey stream. Someone asked him about that. Well, how about, what's his face? Freaking Trojic. Yeah, ooh. I think we wanted him a couple years ago in a trade, but didn't work out. Ooh, yes, that would be nice. I could, honestly, if I had to guess, in terms of, what I think we're going to do, if we do anything, which we might, who knows? No one knows what Yarmo is doing. He operates in silence, He's going to get us a defenseman, a good defenseman, probably for the first pairing. And then he's probably going to get us maybe a centerman. And then he's probably going to fill in some depth. Because I don't know, would he want all those youngsters playing? I'm sure he would. Especially the good ones. But I just hope Andrew Peeke is not going to be our number 2 on in the first line of defense, because him and Werenski, I like Werenski, but I just don't know about Peeke. He seems like a guy that fits well on like the third pairing. But we'll see what they got in store. But if the Blue Jackets, and I mean big if they sign somebody, I will make a video about it. And we'll talk a little bit about it. But if they make a trade, I'll go live. And we'll react to the package together. So, that's pretty much all I got for you. Of course, the MLB trade deadline is closing in quickly. And haven't really heard a lot about the Guardians. They actually split a doubleheader. I streamed the first game, masterclass from the Beebs. And then the second game, we got what we usually get, a freaking disaster class. Tito out here tripping again, freaking doesn't pinch hit guys when they should be pinch hit for. And then he waits an inning later to do it. Same situation. And yeah, it was a mess. Oh well. I'll see you guys later. I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Blue Jackets. Fire the cannon! And bye-bye. See you guys later. Have a good night, everybody. Less than 24 hours. No, not even that. Less than 12 hours. We're like 11 or so hours away from NHL free agency.